Hi. Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you what's the best bike and worst bike in MotoGP26. First of all, I just want to put out this is just my opinion, this is just how I play and how I ride. So your list might be a little bit different, but if you guys just want help trying to be a little bit faster, I'm just going to give you my best advice on which bike is the worst in this scenario and which one's the best. So we're going to head into time trial, and I'll tell you what the worst bike is. So to start off the list, the worst bike in my opinion is it's unfortunate, it's the KTM. Of course, the Austrian brand in real life not doing too well. Very faulty bike in real life. Pedro Acosta's bike always dying, and yeah, it isn't just really working in real life, is it? Yeah, it's just, personally, I'm not a big fan of this bike. In GP25, I was a very big fan of this bike. I used to ride it quite a bit, but in GP26, it's just not really the same. In GP25, you had to be really aggressive. It was a bike you had to be really aggressive on. You really show a lot of power into it, you know? But this game, it just feels a bit too inconsistent, doesn't feel right. It just doesn't really suit the game, I don't think. You know, it's okay in terms of performance, but yeah, it just doesn't, I don't really like it. It just, you have to be a little bit aggressive on it. It sometimes slides quite a bit. You know, it slides quite a bit sometimes. It also just wheelies as well. The front end doesn't feel very comfortable. I know lots of people struggle with the front end to this game, but using this bike, it's I feel like there's so much more struggle using this bike on it. Of course, I think this bike's a 50-50 really, if you ask me. Of course, if you're an aggressive rider and like pushing a bike to the absolute limits, then maybe the KTM's for you, you know? Of course, Jackhammer won it twice in esports back in 2023 and 2024, so, you know, it's still a good bike in the game. Just mostly just to suit the aggressive riding style. For me, I'm a lot more laid back riding style, so maybe it'll work in qualifying. I feel like this is more of a qualification bike than a race bike, maybe a sprint bike even. But after that, I don't really see much success going anywhere. Yeah, nothing really works on it. As in, not like anything doesn't work, as in the bike's terrible, and like it doesn't work like real life where the engine cuts out, but it just doesn't work as in if you're going to come to MotoGP and start going on the KTM, it's not an easy beast to handle under the engine. As we complete this lap in the Austrian circuit, in the KTM's back garden, they say, we will cross the line with a 1:30.239. Second on the list, as worst bike, so fourth worst manufactured bike on the game, is after this it gets a lot tricky, because I know there's a lot of people that prefer, let's say, a Honda compared to an Aprilia. So this is like now it gets a little bit difficult for me. Honestly, after this, I'm gonna say the worst bike is probably, unfortunately, you guys might come to shock, but unfortunately it is the factory Yamaha. It just doesn't, you know, it just isn't working, you know. Of course, in real life, it's literally a tractor, you know, but yeah, in game as well, it feels okay. It's, like I said, it's very different to KTM. On the KTM, you have to play very aggressive and very, hard and soft, like braking. You have to slam it. You gotta really push that bike to its limits. In GP25, it was the same. But this, from GP25, where the bike was really, really comfortable and nice to ride, GP26 just isn't the fun. I mean, personally, if you ask me, I love riding this bike. It feels the most comfortable for me. That's because I've been on this bike for the longest in the game, or second longest. I've been on this bike every game, going for it, doing hundreds of laps each game on this bike. But yeah, unfortunately, if you compare it to the other bikes, the top 3 other bikes, it's not fun. It's when I first got the game, I started riding the Yamaha because I was like, wow, this bike. I know the game physics feel a bit different, but I'm like, wow, this bike does feel okay. Feels decent. I feel like I can get some really good lap times, really good results on this bike. And online, I was like, yeah, this bike's fun. But it's really until I started trying the other bikes where it became a problem. I'll go back on the Yamaha, and unfortunately, I'd go back on it and it'd feel a lot different. I'd start feeling the true feelings of the bike, where the Ducati and Aprilia, and Honda of course, feel a lot better. The Yamaha just lacks a bit of engine power. It's a little bit less consistent. It's a more, like the KTM, it's a little bit inconsistent, let's say. Like, look at that, there was a little wobble there. Yeah, just not fun. It's a fun bike to ride. I think all the bikes in this game are really fun. I think they're accurate to real life, or when the season started. But personally, not a big fan on the bike. Like it, it's always going to be in my heart as one of my favourite bikes to ride. But yeah, whoa, my bike's gone. I think I've got rewind. Yeah, I do. Whoa, it's just disappeared. Well, if the results could be this high, I think no one would mind. But yeah, I like the Yamaha. I personally like it. I would put, if I were to, of course, I'm ranking this. I mean, at the beginning of the video, I said I'm ranking this to my own personal opinion, but I'm kind of doing this to other people's opinion as well. Of course, in BML, got some of the pros and some of the more casuals. I like this. I think, I like the Yamaha a lot, but I would put it top 3. But it's when you ride the other bikes, the Ducati, the Honda, the Aprilia, it just isn't. It just doesn't correspond the same way, It's just a lot. It's just very difficult to ride, and it's just unfortunate because it's such a nice looking bike as well. Anyways, we must keep moving up the list. Next in the okay, for our next bike, in my opinion, is the Aprilia. Now, I'm using the new livery Aprilia. Of course, the updates just happened, so you will get to enjoy a nice lap in this Superfile Trackhouse Aprilia livery. I think this bike's very enjoyable. I see a lot of potential in it, of course. I think, in my opinion, I think this bike is the best improvement bike over the games. Of course, you got the Ducati, which went from an okay bike to the best bike in the game. But this bike is just... I think this bike has earned a respectful spot. Honestly, I struggled between should I put this P2 or P3. I didn't really know where to put it, but I put it at P3. That's how I feel on the game. I think a few of you might put it P3, some of you might put it P1 on the list. But yeah, I like the bike. It's okay. It's not, as you can tell, it's not my favourite bike, But if I was forced to ride this for a few races and online and stuff, I would definitely not mind. I would definitely try and put a good result in, have a bit of fun on it. Definitely a bike that's starting to grow on me a little bit. But, oh no, we fell. But yeah, as I said, it's a bike that's starting to grow on me a little bit, but yeah, it's not the best, it's not the worst, it's okay. I think it's good at acceleration, it's good at corner entry. There's no real big problem with the bike. I just think the package is incomplete. You know, it just doesn't work fully. Anyways, as we move on to the lists, that was not a great lap from me. I apologise, guys. That should have been probably in the 29s, 28s. Now, we head into the top 2 bikes. Now, I struggled on this one, to be honest, because there's one part of me going, I know which bike is the best in the game. You know, I know which one it is. Everybody knows which bike is probably the best, or at least top 2 in the game. There's another bike out here that's, I'll be honest, it's been growing on me a lot. And if you watched me last year, I was on this bike quite a bit. So coming into this game, it was a little bit different. Second in the list, I'll have to give it to the... You guessed it. Yeah. In the second position, the second best bike in this game, to my feeling, to what I believe, is the Honda. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Beeman, how the hell have you put a Honda, second best bike in the game, a KTM in last, and a Aprilia P3? I know, it's a bit strange, but that's just how I feel in the game, you know, it's just... I've rode these bikes a lot, but I've rode the Honda for the longest. I've been on this bike since MotoGP26, so I know this bike left, right and centre. That's why I feel so comfortable on the bike. That's why I have good pace on it. That's why I was on it in PML. Up until, well, this year. I like the bike, it's good. It's, I see good potential on it. It's a fun one as well, it's definitely a fun one. I think, of course, I think this bike is a 50-50, if you ask me. There's going to be people on this game that love the Honda. There's going to be people that absolutely love it. They'll be like, best bike in the game because it just works really well. But then there's going to be other people that go, I don't like this bike because it's so random and sometimes it can be so inconsistent. Look, hear me out. The bike has its problems, but the bike is quick. Personally, if you ask me, I mean, I have second best bike in this game. I think it's good. I enjoy it. You know, I'll go into an online race, I'll race on it. You know, practicing for BML, I've been on this bike quite a bit, practicing. Of course, I know I'm on the KTM, but sometimes it's good to ride another bike to get a different perspective on the racing lines. And I like it. It's a fun bike to ride. But it's not the best bike in the game. Of course, I mean, you'll know which bike's the best in the game. You'll know what I think. But that's just to my perspective. This is what I like. You know, the Honda is... it's different. You know, this game is a lot different. It's a lot more... let's say, realistic. Last game, I wasn't the biggest fan of it because it was very, like, wheelie, like 24. It was too similar to 24, and that's why I didn't like it as much, and that's why I was always a little bit off the pace than maybe you guys wanted me or expected me to be. But this year, it's a lot better. The wheelie problem is not, like, it's not fully gone, but it's definitely a lot better. The corner entry is good. The bike feels heavy, but at the same time, it's still really nice to ride. I think it's a good bike. I think This is the type of bike that you need to spend a bit of time on to get used to it, but, you know, it really depends on what you think, depends on your riding style. For example, someone might like the KTM. Yeah, some of you guys are going to disagree on my KTM take. I don't like the KTM. It's not great. Anyways, as we move on to the final bike in our list, you've probably guessed what it is, if you haven't already. It is the Ducati. Now, I know you've got an old GP spec and a newer GP spec, 25 Ducati, 26 Ducati. I'm just going to do the GP26 Ducati. GP25, you ask me, it's almost the same thing. But this bike is gold. This bike is so nice. You know, ask anyone. Anyone will jump on the GP26 Ducati or GP25. Anyone will jump on this Ducati and they'll say top 3 in the game instantly. The last 5 years, this bike has been really good. I've really enjoyed this bike. So, yeah, that's what I think. Let's just restart that. Of course, last on the list, as you all know, the best bike in the game, I think it's the best bike in the game, the most comfortable to ride, is the Ducati. Of course, I know there's the GP25 as well, but I'm just going to count the Ducati, because realistically it's almost the exact same thing. There's like no difference to them. I love the Ducati. I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, look at that. Look at the red paint job and the white on it. Oh, so good. Yeah, such a good bike. I mean, it works really well. It's really good on the straights. There's no wheelie problems. Like, unlike the KTM and the Honda, which suffers a bit from wheeling, this doesn't. Look at this. This is just flat on the ground, barely lifting up. The corner entries are amazing. You can absolutely slam this bike into a corner, and, you know, you'll suffer a bit of consequences. I mean, it's GP26, but this bike is so nice to ride. I mean, look, I made a mistake. I mean, I know I've invalidated my lap, but I made a mistake going into that corner, and look how much I managed to recover from it. If I was on the KTM, if I was on the Yamaha, even the Honda, I think I would have dropped the front there. This bike is such a good forgiving bike, and look, I'm not gonna full on put the brake around the corner because it will just drop. But I say this bike is the best because you can just get away with it. It's such a nice bike. You can, and unlike the other bikes, you know, it's not like the KTM where you kind of have to be aggressive to get any good feeling out of it, or the Yamaha where you have to be a little bit chill on it. This, you can just go whatever you want. You can be a bit chill. Like, for now, right now, I'm not pushing. I'm not pushing the Ducati. I'm not pushing it at all. I'm just riding how I normally would on like a Yamaha. I'm just vibing on it. But if you were to push this bike, wow, the amount of time you get from it is amazing. Like, I'll do a push lap. I'll do one extra lap just to show you how I push it. Because I like this bike. I think this bike's the best in the game. Hands down. Look, I'm forcing it into these corners. I'm being a little bit aggressive. You can tell it's a little bit more wobbly. Forcing the Ducati into the chicane. There you go. Got the exit as well. Oh, I've messed up this corner again. I don't like that corner, guys. I don't like that corner. Point is, you get the point. You know, you can push the bike. I'm going to keep pushing at the end of this lap. It's going to be invalid, but it's such a nice bike to ride. Such a comfortable bike. It's one of those bikes which in GP25 I didn't really like, because I think it was so good, and I'm so used to a Honda where there's lots of feeling, and you know, you can get to the limit pretty easily on the Honda. With this, there's just not a limit. I don't think there's like a limit to how much you can push this bike. You know, it's such an enjoyable bike to ride. I mean, look at that. I mean, if I was on the KTM and the Yamaha, that would have gone flying across the track. But I managed to lock and put it into the corner and still extract probably a tenth out of that than I would on a KTM. Look, 43.8. And I messed up as well. Look, we're going to go again. I know, I don't want to waste anyone's time here because you got the list, but I will have the lists. I'll have the actual list on worst to best bike in the game, or what it should be. And I'll have a list on my opinion, because I think that's really important. Of course, I'll put a list as well. Here's a list on screen, what riding style you need for each bike. So maybe you'll match it up to you. I mean, as you see, Ducati, you can be aggressive and calm, but I'd rather you be aggressive, because that's who you'll get the most time out of. In Honda, you'll have to be a little bit more calm and chill, but you can still extract a bit of time. Yamaha, you just gotta chill on it, you gotta not be aggressive on it. KTM, super aggressive. Or you gotta be super on the limit of chill, which means, you know, you don't need to push it around every corner, but you gotta give it a bit of a lifeline. Look at that again, just blocking it into the last corner, and it's still going around. Gonna still extract another tenth out of that. What, we were 6/10 just before into that last corner. And okay, what did we beat it by? We beat it by around a second. Or well, on the first lap I beat it by a second. On the last one I actually don't know how much I beat it by. Point is, it's a good bike. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully maybe this video helped a little bit. I know I'm not the best of explaining things, I'm not the best of showing and explaining, but look, this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of a new era, trust me. I'm not Dr. Race, I'm not Robo46. I can't replace them legends, but I'm gonna try my best to be the best content creator / racer I can be for you guys and myself. So yeah, expect some more content coming soon. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, comment toaster, just so I know who made it. But yeah, thank you for watching. It's been an okay ride, and with that, I'm going.